Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another big matchup, a fifth place playoff game. It's already confirmed on the other side of the draw. The Irish will be facing the winner of this contest. Fiji, Australia, always exciting, like I mentioned. And looking through at this Fijian lineup, they have got quite a few dangerous players in there. It is going to be Mothin or Thangi here, a brilliant game in the last match up against the French. Well, sorry, they actually played up against the US. Who did they play? Argentina, sorry. Got the wrong team. Jeremiah Matana, Tira Walangi, Nathunu, Jerry Tawai, experienced veteran of the Sevens circuit, Ioane Tiba, and Manueli Samoa gets added into the starting lineup. Then for the Australians, Henry Hutchinson, Nathan Lawson, Henry Patterson, Longbottom, Josh Turner, Dietrich Roach scored a couple tries in the last match up against the USA, and then James Turner, the last man in the starting lineup for Australia. But you can hear the roar. A lot of Fijian supporters in attendance for this game in New Zealand, and they want to go on and get themselves to their Irish semi-final / fifth place playoff game, I should say. Australia, they've gone win-loss in this competition so far, so a little bit up and down at the Fijians. They were undefeated at the stage of the pools, 3 in a row, and then ended up losing that first game up against Argentina for their quarterfinal. But it looks like there might be a few raindrops starting to fall in Hamilton at the moment. Not what these players will be wanting. Definitely not Fiji, as they love an offload, do not want to deal with a slippery ball while being out on the field. But Dietrich Roach about to kick this one off for the Australians. We've still got 2 more semi-finals later on that we are covering, as well as a quarterfinal. Well, sorry, not a quarterfinal, a fourth place playoff game. And also, it will be the final. Yeah, so the raindrops falling in Hamilton at the moment. Dietrich Roach getting ready to kick us off. Now, the scoreboard was half asleep for the last live stream. Let's see if it's improved for this one. Going to be kicked high. Nicely slapped back by the Australians. And now Longbottom gives it across to Hutchinson, trying to keep this ball alive and trying to move it as quickly wide as they can here for the Aussies. It's out to Dietrich Roach. The black headgear on, my Samoa takes him down nicely. Josh Turner back across to Hutchinson, back to the middle of the park, 50 metres out, exactly where they started with the kickoff. Longbottom cuts to the right this time. Hutchinson, quick pass again from the Australians, finds the offload. Josh Turner, now Hutchinson finds himself in a little bit of space with only one Fijian defender out wide, which is Jeremiah Matana. He's missed that tackle. They move up to 30 metres out from the line now. Hutchinson slings it wide. Out to Longbottom. He'll back his pace, but goes on the inside. Turner drops the ball. That is James Turner, but we're going back for an offside penalty in favour of the Australians. It's like Henry Patterson asking where the mark is. He takes the quick tap. Looks off to his right-hand side where he finds Hutchinson. It's been dangerous throughout the last few legs. Dietrich Roach breaks through. And Australia get themselves the try. Now, I mentioned the winner of this game will go through to the fifth place playoff contest. The loser of this game, they have no more matches. So it would be extremely disappointing for the Fijians if their crowd don't get to watch one last performance from the Flying Fijians, which is why they've got to try and fire back. Currently 5-0 down. Maurice Longbottom. It's a tough kick near the touchline, 22 metres out. In fact, it works out to be about 35 with the angle. He misses out to the left-hand side, and the score is 5-0 for the Australians. Tournament tries. Dietrich Roach at the moment, he's had 7 tries. Fraha on 5. Paul Scanlon also on 5. The Samoan representative. We'll get to see him in action not too far away in the game up against Kenya, which they will be playing for 9th place, I believe that is. Now, the Aussies kicking off to the short side. It's gone high from Dietrich Roach, jumping through the air. Turner's hands once again have let him down, but it's going to be a penalty for a bit of obstruction from the Fijians. Now, Maurice Longbottom thinking long and hard about what their plan's going to be. I believe they will be doing a quick tap, just setting up their back line. So they're going to put James Turner out on the other wing. See whether or not that will help him out, although they think about going short side for a short moment. They have Henry Patterson there, so they considered it. Now, it will be Hutchinson, goes across to Dietrich Roach. James Turner on his outside, gets that pass, hangs on to that ball, inside pass to Nathan Lawson. and the Aussies will have their second of the contest. Now, they are currently doing extremely well. We haven't seen a Fijian attack at this point in the match. I think that was a little bit similar in their game up against Argentina for Fiji, just not quite enough possession, whether or not it was not trying to go for the ball enough in the breakdown, which allowed the other team to just hang on to it. But longer, my Samoa really committed to that one. He smacks his head on the ground like it was nothing. He's actually done that multiple times throughout the sevens. You hope that the man doesn't give himself a concussion at some point soon. Kick is successful from the Australians. They now sit 12-0 up over Fiji. The comeback, it's going to be relatively tricky for the Flying Fijians, but not impossible. We've seen them score multiple tries in a row before. Currently 3.5 minutes gone. 367 tries scored in Hamilton so far. So Fiji, even though they've conceded 2 tries, they still sit $2.21 underdogs. So that just shows you how dangerous they can be if they can fire back relatively quickly. Dietrich Roach puts the ball high. Nicely taken there by Mothunathangi. Looks for the offload up to my Samoa, who goes to the left-hand side. Loose bouncing ball for Fiji. Just looks a little bit scrappy at the moment, but it is their first time touching the ball of the day. And understand that there will be just a few problems to start with. Ioane Teba now gives it off to my Samoa again. Off to the side. Mothunathangi wrestled down by 2 Australians. James Turner over the ball, gets the penalty for Australia. Takes the quick tap, gives it to Hutchinson. There's a gap opening up in the middle of the field for Josh Turner. Now Hutchinson drawing past to James Turner, cleaned up high by my Samoa. They might consider checking that one again. 2.5 minutes left of the half. They're trying to drive up the middle. Nathan Lawson, the last try scorer for Australia. And Fiji just not getting enough position, like I mentioned. They need to take a bit of a risk and go into a breakdown. The offload is good. Maurice Longbottom straight in there for Fiji. That's better. The knock on from the Australians. Maurice Longbottom under a huge amount of pressure there in the breakdown. And it will now be Fiji's scrum feed. A little bit of rain still falling. 22 passes made by Australia throughout the first 5 minutes of this contest compared to the 5 that we're seeing from Fiji, and also some more offloading from Australia. Equals 5 for Fiji, so they're still making a few of them. Penalties conceded, though. They've conceded 3, which could cost them later on in this contest. Now, it's going to be fed in by Jerry Tawai. Bounces out the side of the scrum, and now they've got a bit of space. It's a rough pass, but my Samoa's run onto it very nicely. Done a great step around Dietrich Roach. Back in his pace. Found the offload over the top. Now Ioane Teba breaks through one. Thinks about the offload. Does find it. Jerry Tawai up to Mothunathangi. Numbers on the outside for Fiji at the moment. So looking to use every man on the field. Nathungu goes back across. Jerry Tawai. This is when that man needs to show exactly why he's one of the greats of the Sevens circuit. With that experience, with that vision. Penalty goes the way of Fiji. Not rolling away against the Australians. Now Jerry Tawai does the step. Goes off to the left. Inside ball to my Samoa, who breaks one tackle. Offloads to Teba with the step. This is close for the Fijians now. Another offload. Keeping the ball alive, even though it's slippery out there on the field. They're willing to take that risk. Flick out the back from Nathungu. It doesn't find the hands of Jeremiah Matana, but still just manages to keep it in the field of play. Another step. Fiji with the offload. Nathungu accelerates. 10 meters out. Offload to Ioane Teba. And that will be the try for Fiji. The first of the day. And the crowd are electric at the moment at FMG Stadium. Might have done some damage to himself, Ioane Teba, in the process of scoring. That is his first try in Hamilton. And what a time to be able to score it. Lucas said, go Fiji, go hang in there. Stay strong, not only in the mountains, but don't quit when you are in the valley, says Luke. And they've managed to get themselves that last-minute try of the half. That is massive for Fiji, because now they are only less than one converted try away from getting back into this matchup. And the successful kick makes it 7 points to 12, getting into halftime. It's starting to pour down a little bit in Hamilton. It doesn't say that on the weather report, so I guess that's a perfect example of don't trust the weather report. You've got to look up at the sky and work it out. But 7 minutes left in this contest. The winner of the game moves on to face Ireland in the 5th place playoff game. Anyone's wondering about the time that fixture will be taking place, it would be taking place at 5:34 New Zealand time. So we've got a game at 4:34. That is Kenya versus Samoa. We will be covering that on the channel. 13th place playoff is Canada versus Spain. That's a little bit sooner. And then also at 5th place playoff, 5:34. Bronze final at 6:59. And then the cup final taking place at 7:56. Still plenty more Sevens games coming up today, which is absolutely great news for ourselves. We've been watching it all throughout today and yesterday. It's been entertaining. I'm looking forward to Sydney, though, because I know that Sydney actually is a competition that's played over 3 days rather than 2. So we'll get 1 game, I believe, on the Friday night per team. And then alongside that, 2 games, in fact, 3 games on Saturday, and then 2 games on Sunday, I believe is how it's worked out. Unless it might actually be 2 games on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Either way, I'm excited because who doesn't love a weekend of sevens? We've also had other rugby on. Rugby Union, the URC, the Champions Cup, all taking place. 6 Nations and Super Rugby just around the corner, in which we will get to see some of these Fijian players possibly in action. I know the Drua have been going pretty nicely in recent weeks in terms of that training progressing as a side after recently being added to Super Rugby Pacific. Showing there the Kiwis warming up in the background. Currently 12 minutes away from their big semi-final matchup where they will be going head-to-head with France. And also we've got there, hey bro, says Kurt, welcome in, mate. You are doing very well. I hope you're excited for the second half because these 2 sides, they seem like they're going to be throwing absolutely everything at each other for the second 7 minutes. And hello, says Ed. Welcome in, Ed. Hope you're doing well, mate. Do let me know your score prediction. Who's going to walk away with this win? Do let me know. Nathan Lawson takes it nicely and was actually tackled in the air by Jeremiah Matana. So Australia take their quick tap. Henry Hutchison, ball on the inside to Maurice Longbottom. Bit of a mistake. It does go backwards, though. Aussie men's and women are doing great at Hamilton. Or the USA, says Ed. Yeah, USA women through to the final to take on the Kiwis. And the USA men, their game a little bit later on today up against Los Pumas. Patterson, great run. Taken down by Mothunothangi. You can really start to see that slipperiness of the field starting to play factor. The players won't mind that hugely because at least when you score a try, you should slide rather than just kind of divot. Never ideal when you dig a couple holes with your knees and slam it into the try area. Right, Jerry Tawai. They win the penalty here, Fiji. I think Australia 22-10, bro. Says Kurt. It's a possibility. This stage, a couple more tries around the corner, maybe for one of these sides. 6 minutes left on the clock. Fiji will have the possession. We saw 4 out of the first 5 penalties go against Fiji, but 2 of the last 3 have gone against Australia. Jerry Tawai about to put the ball in. Been watching NFL playoffs. I haven't seen the Sevens game this morning, says Ed. Oh, Hamish, how are we doing? Says Spotamec, we're doing pretty well. Currently, Fiji trying to get back into this contest. They pass the ball wide to my son, Mod. Great step, but great tackle from James Turner. He's got a huge amount of pace, that man. Quite deceptive at times with how quickly can accelerate. Now passed on the outside. Mothunothangi taken down nicely. Henry Hutchison over the ball. Clean turnover. And now Fiji, they try and get it back. Now that's interesting because the referee was going to give an advantage and then he decided against it. And then Fiji actually ended up in a scenario where they could have got the turnover, but the ref decided to go back for the advantage that he didn't give. A little bit unlucky there, the Fijians. James Turner back across now. Nathan Lawson. Ball on the inside to Longbottom, who starts to pierce the line. Hutchinson, man on his outside. It's going to be Henry Patterson. Hard to stop him from that close. He doesn't put the ball down yet. Gets a little bit closer to the post and now slams the ball down. Who's favourites? We're winning on the bet, bro. At the moment, Australia are favourites to be able to take out this game, and that try just then will certainly help in their favour. So more than likely, we're going to see Australia versus Ireland as the 6th place playoff game, which is not too far at all. Like I mentioned, happening just around 5 o'clock New Zealand time. A couple hours time. Is someone banging on the door? Yeah, it was my dad. He is about to come inside, so that's all right. I think he accidentally hit his boot on the door. Henry Patterson doing very nicely there for the Australians. The kick is successful. That will now make the score 20, or in fact, sorry, will make the score 19 points to 7 in favour of the Australians. With 4 minutes left, Fiji need 2 converted tries and for Australia to not get themselves any more points on the board. There's going to be Dietrich Roach. We're kicking off for the Australians. Still a little bit of rain falling at FMG Stadium, which means it could be a slippery final, which is only about 5 hours away, in fact. One of the young players coming out onto the field, that is for Turner. I believe that was Dally Bird. And David Warner did play in Big Bash last night, bro, did he? I know that he is signed with the Sydney Thunder, and he's played a couple games since coming back from Australian duty. Josh Turner takes it beautifully for the Australians. Hutchinson receives the inside ball. That could be the dagger in the coffin of the Fijians as Australia slide in for their 4th try of the match now. They are sitting 24 points to 7. Now Fiji, they need 3 tries in 3.5 minutes, which is near impossible. But Dietrich Roach got it the 10 meters that he needed. Josh Turner jumps on that ball and just runs it hard, gives it off to Hutchinson, who was on his right-hand side, and he enjoyed that slipperiness, slides in over the line. Travelled from pretty much scoring at the try line all the way to the dead ball line. That kick's gone over. 26 points to 7 now for the Australians over Fiji. Henry Hutchinson, he's just done some hand signals. He said that they're doing number 9. Don't know what number 9 is. They haven't even got a number 9 in their team, so I assume it's tactical for the Australians. Unless they're calling out Filippo Bukayaro or the Fijians, which I don't think you want to do. You probably smash every single one of them. Roach now kicks this ball off. That's almost out on the full, but my son Moa's taking it just in the field of play, I should say. Speaking of Bukayaro, he's got the ball now. He's knocked it backwards. Jeremiah Matana looking a bit stagnant here. Not sure how to get through this Australian defence by the looks of it, Fiji. They have been rewarded with a penalty taken quickly by Vakunara Billy. Back across here, Nodovalo involved as well. Jerry Tawai accelerates. Ball on the inside. Good run forward from Bati Raranga. My Samoa is back across. 2 minutes left on the clock for 3 converted tries. It just doesn't seem like it's quite going to work out for them. What happened to the Aussie Women's Sevens? They just got beaten clean by USA. They haven't looked as dominant throughout the Sevens in the Southern Hemisphere. So it's whether or not they're playing badly or the other sides are starting to catch up again. I think it's more that they just aren't quite in form at the moment. And now, nice step from my Samoa. He goes through. Now, this will be a try for Fiji, and it will be successfully converted, taking them up to 14 points. So now they need 2 tries and only 1 minute 20. They can retain this kickoff. This isn't actually out of question for Fiji. I know that it's going to be near on impossible, but if they can retain this kickoff, score just like the Australians did, then they only need 1 more converted try to win this game. Improbable, but not impossible for the Fijians. Like they've said, they've seen Fiji in this type of position before. The time is off at the moment as Australia did decide to make subs. Some deep breaths being taken by Henry Hutchinson. They know that Fiji are going short with this one. They've got to. They're going to go to the top side. They kick off. In fact, they've gone long. Now, I wouldn't agree with that tactic from Fiji. That's pretty much gifting Australia the position. I assume the tactic behind it is try and get Australia deep inside of their own 22, then go for the turnover, but they haven't quite successfully been able to do that. If you're Australia, you hang on to this ball as long as they'll let you. Nice run forward from Dally Bird. Ball bounces out onto the side of Fiji and my Samoa. They've got 50 seconds now, Fiji. 25 meters out from the line. The draw and pass. Matana. Ball on the inside to Vakunara Billy. Takes 3 men to take him down. Fiji going to go in for the try. It's going to be a very tough conversion, but they've got over again for the Fijians. There's still a glimmer of a hope for the Fijians here. It's just one of those sides that can keep you on the edge of your seat every single second of a match. The scoreboard's a little bit slow updating, but currently in this game, we are sitting a lot closer. It is 19 points to 26. The kick is unsuccessful for Fiji. Accuracy was there, just not the distance. 1 converted try for Fiji could lead to this game going a golden point, but they will be kicking off. They cannot afford to go deep here, because if they go deep in Australia, get this ball, they will be kicking this one out. Our Seven Sisters going to take it out, says Spider Mick. It would be great to see New Zealand in the men's and the women's both making their way through. Fiji contest. It's in the hands of the Aussies. And now all they need to do is retain this one. I believe that's going to be a knock-on. No, it's a penalty to Australia. And they'll be able to narrowly hang on in this game. Fiji had to throw everything at that just to see if they had one last crack. But it looks like Maurice Longbottom going to take the quick tap and kick this one into touch. And that will be the end of the game. Australia managing to win this game up against Fiji, 26 points or 26 to 19. It got a lot closer on the board than a lot of people would have been anticipating. But it is going to be a win for the Aussies. They will move through to take on Ireland now in their next match, which is only just around the corner. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Be sure to check out our second channel, the Kiwi Lads Entertainment. We have got a goal of hitting 315 subscribers by the end of the day. We're only 4 away. If you do want to help us out, be sure to check out that link, click on that other channel and hit that subscribe button. So we have got plenty more videos coming up on there in the near future. But we will be transferring over to our semi-final match now, New Zealand versus France. So I will see you all in a very short